Friday. We have talked Buckeye Division. Now we're going down to the Cardinal side of things. Napoleon at Clay is our game of the week. Justin and the Bald Is Beautiful gang will be back at Clay for the second time this season. They got their first one. Now they get a second one. Huge Cardinal Division matchup. This game went to triple OT last year. We're hoping for another banger just like that this Friday.
Napoleon won that triple overtime game 35-34, and that game was suspense-filled. Yeah, you might say triple overtime. Of course it was suspense-filled, but just the plays within those overtimes, it was just fantastic. I still remember it from a full year ago. But these are two teams with strong senior classes who have been together all the way up through grade school, junior high. Clay's teams, when they were younger, the senior class, they won as peewees, they won as junior high, they won as a freshman. And Clay just joined the NLL last year.
Right.
So these two groups of senior classes have not played each other aside from last year's triple overtime game. So I think that is a compelling element to this game. And on top of the fact that both of these teams are currently 9 seeds within their respective playoff regions, Clay in Division 2, Napoleon in Division 4. So you win this game, it goes a long way. I can guarantee you win this game based on the records of each of them, 5-2 Clay, 4-3 Napoleon. You're going to vault into the top 8, which will get you a first-round home playoff game and the potential opportunity to continue to win and then get into the top 4, which could get you 2 home playoff games. But Coach Tyler 𝗦�57for Napoleon told me that Clay is big and physical up front. He knows that they got to deal with Mason 𝗦𝗫𝘀. We've talked exhaustively about Mason 𝗦𝗫𝘀, and deservedly so, and what he's able to do running the ball and passing the ball. But Coach John Gallia said that he was pleased with what they did at Fremont Ross last week. They had a 21-point lead. The final score was 42-35, but they had a 21-point lead in the fourth quarter. But they had a solid running game, and it was not Mason 𝗦𝗫𝘀 doing all the running.
Eversman playing well.
They had a number of their running backs toting the rock and getting some big-time yardage for them. So that was a positive development for Clay. And then Troy Hazuda and Hudson Byers, we've talked about them as well. But I think those guys are going to have to step up and have some big games against the Napoleon team that has Trey Rubenstein going anywhere, defense, offense, and special teams. So it's in my opinion, worth the price of admission game because you see Trey Rubenstein, you see Mason 𝗦𝗫𝘀, Kent State and Pitt commits respectively, and they're going to be fun to watch just on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Trey, we've talked about it off podcast, Trey Rubenstein in this game might be the difference maker. He might be the guy that you say, hey, Mason 𝗦𝗫𝘀 is your problem tonight. Handle your problem. Don't let him do Mason 𝗦𝗫𝘀 things. Keep him in the pocket if that's where you need to keep him. He could be the X factor in keeping them in because we saw Perrysburg do a really good job of containing him, not letting him go crazy. Trey Rubenstein is a good enough athlete, hands down, to be able to do that as well.
Not so fast.
You
need 11 guys and 11 hats to the ball versus him. Now, him by himself, one-on-one in the boxing ring, I don't know what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
You know, but you got the footwork of Mason. He's crazy with it. But the one thing I do understand is that you got to team tackle this kid, and you also got to be disciplined in the back half of your defense if you're Napoleon. You can't get lazy with your eyes. You can't be watching the quarterback and not watching those spectacular receivers that they have, that big, tall tight end and Hudson Byers they have that can go and stretch the field. Ostrander, and one of my favorite receivers all season in this area. So I
Mason
look at
would agree.
Yes, he has to. He finds that guy open all the time. And then again, you still got Troy Hazuda, one of the best hands catchers in the state of Ohio, in my opinion. So it's going to be an uphill battle, but you do have Eggers on the other side.
Yes.
You're going to run the football. Espinoza is really good. He can control the ball. So this is a game that I call the Super Bowl for this conference here.
Cardinal Division Super Bowl, yeah.
I believe this game's going to come down to simply, can you not – you're not going to stop Mason.
Yeah.
You got to contain him just a little bit for 4 quarters. But
he's going to get his.
And you got to own that possession era. So if Napoleon can't keep on to that ball and be able to get first downs, I think that's the difference maker. And Mason 𝗦𝗫𝘀𝘀 just got to continue to not turn over.
Yeah, and for the Clay Eagles, they're looking for their first league title since 1982. Last time the Clay Eagles won, and that was the Great Lakes League way back in the day. So let us know who you think is going to win over on our X, our Game of the Week poll.